Hi there. My name is Osmond, and I'm going to do a full deep map analysis of Rio, which is a new map in Overwatch 2. I have some extra settings on here that make my cooldown 0, and I also, for far, I have unlimited fuel, and I can move around pretty quickly. So I'm going to show you kind of what this map looks like and kind of what's going on a little bit. This is the attacker's spawn room, okay? And I'll show you defenders later. Nice little spawn room here, but that's not what we come here for. We're here to analyze the map and figure it out. The first thing you're confronted with is 2 lanes. You can go either this direction or this direction. And in between, there is a building. It's important to note, this is not like Dorado, where you can stand on top of the building. If you try to stand on this building, you will fall off. You will slide off the edge. You cannot stand on the building. But you can stand on the awning. The awning is not bad. And I think, yeah, you can stand on this thing too. You can stand on this, and you can stand on the bus. We're not there yet. Okay. Here, I'll go in the air so you can see. There's this building. There's a beach. You don't play the beach side here. There's a limited amount that you can go out here. Okay. And I'll show you where it ends right there. So you can hang out on the beach. All right. But this is really kind of in no man's land. No one really plays out here. That's if you're trying to stall or distract or something. I don't know. It's not for anything really. You cannot go past these roadblocks. This is also the end of the map. There's a mini, by the way. Okay, so here's the next little part of the map. All right, you have a bus. All right, and you have a bridge. This bridge for defense is pretty cool. You get to see both sides of the building. It's easier to see this one and peek this because you're only peeking one of the 2 angles. However, if you're peeking this side, you're exposing yourself to both angles. So be careful looking at that side. The enemy team, if they're playing something kind of brawly, or with the Junker Queen, they often will take this first rotation over here. As an attacker, you can kind of sit here and make a quick rotation to here, quick rotation next to bus. You can kind of see the car over here. And you're kind of ducked behind right here because if you're on this bridge, you don't really want to overexpose yourself to like shoot down here. This is really bad. Don't do this as a defender unless you have absolutely, if you absolutely know what you're doing. Don't do this, right? Because again, it's overexposing. There's too many different angles. People be up there. Someone could be rotating this way. This, you're very exposed. So generally, if you get to this point, you might see like a dynamite, but people aren't going to sit up there and just farm you. They're going to rotate back to this red room. This red carpet room is the prime material. This is exactly what you want as both the attacker, honestly, and the defender. They both want this room. This is really good position. You get to defend this. You get to defend this. You can look down there. You can look at points. You can look at the high grounds. You can look back to here. You can look there, up there, over there, down there, in the corner. You can see this angle, that angle. You can see people like rotating around. Like in here, this is where you want to be. This is the thing, right? You don't want to start here. You actually do want to take a quick peek here in the beginning, see what kind of things you can farm off, stall them out a little bit, and then go to this room over here. Okay. So I'll tell you that this room or this building is flyable. You can actually go across this building, and there's a couple of interesting things here that I want to definitely point out. Is that there is a stall. There's a stall right here. Not a stall. It's just a little surface you can stand on. So you can kind of stand in this little spot here. These little lips, it's really hard to play with, but you can kind of play with these lips. I'm not going to explain it too much. It's a little bit complicated, but you can kind of, I'll show you. Oh no, won't let me do it. You have to fall slowly and hold it like a counter steer like that. And if you counter steer it lightly enough, then you can keep doing this little bounce thing off of it, but it's not very reliable. It's not something I would recommend. Here, however, though, is interesting, right? If you're Ash, you can coach gun up to this little platform thing here. And then as soon as you're starting to get pressured out of this position, which is like pretty good to kind of start off on, then you can coach gun over the roof and land on this red awning. All right. This red awning gives you access to this and gives you a little, if you peek it perfectly, I would use crouch to kind of slowly do it. Gives you a little bit of peek on that. But that's a dangerous one because you could easily fall off. Then when the enemy team starts like actually getting way back down into here, if they start seeing you, you can actually coach gun back across the building. And now you've got like this angle, and you can look back here. You can do this. You still have control of this red room. This is if they're dumb though. This is if they just walk straight down main, which you don't expect, right? A good team knows that this is the power position. They're gonna come right up here, and they're gonna take it from you. They're gonna do everything they can to get this in their control. That's their space. They want it, or it's not their space. It's the space they're trying to get. Now I'm gonna show you a couple things. If you are Sojourn.
We're in this
I think I might have said this already, but you want to do this first, right? Jump up here and shoot this to there. Be careful not to accidentally shoot this thing. All right. This nice little angle here, you can do this, whatever. But if you want to counter this as a Widowmaker, I'm going to show you something too in this map. Widowmaker, which can also take that position to make a shot if you want to. If you want to kind of counteract that as people start figuring that little thing out, come on, then you can sit here by the car, and you can actually get a sight on that little angle. And if you get behind that little light thing, get around that, you can make it. You can find a shot potentially there, right there, right? Be like actually right down there. I haven't actually seen someone do that yet because this map is very new. Anyway, you take a couple shots here. You might be able to play this angle for just a little bit. But what you actually want to do is rotate around here, and I'm going to show you something really fucking cheeky. This is what I was telling about the far thing. You stand about here, and I might not get this my first try. Yeah, no, I didn't get it. But you can take this absolute stupid-ass Kefri angle, and you can stall next to this satellite dish. And now it's giving me some shit. Yeah, it's easiest if you're just like down here and you kind of like line up with the satellite dish. Oh, see, this is what you're afraid of. You don't actually want to jump off of the map. So that's something you definitely want to be afraid of. Do not over jump this across the building. And anyway, if you can land up there, you'll see how broken it is. Because you can kind of sway left and right, and you use the satellite dish as cover. Oh my god, I'm not gonna spend any more time on it. But anyway, you can peek like up to this wall, and you can peek like this, all the way to about to the edge of this car. It's about where you're limited to. Okay, so that's a thing. I want to show you as well another quick thing. I'm going to grab Ana, because a lot of people play Flex support. A lot of people really like Ana. So what should Ana be doing here? Now, Ana on attack, kind of stick with your team. Ana cannot get on top of the awning, so just be careful about that. Probably starting here, rotating. You're looking and keeping an eye on this yellow car area over here. Keep an eye up here, because this is where like the real power position is. Be careful in this area. Kind of rotate with your team a little bit. Your team's probably going to come around this bus, or they're going to go around that side, but this bus is generally the way because of that. And then once you get under here, you're not like... Sometimes people take a long time, right? I mean, you're just looking to like throw an anti-nade up there, get him to move out of position, and then be careful with this rotation, right? Like, use as much cover as possible. Look at all these different angles. It's really important. Now, if you're on defense, though, this is what I really want to point out, because, yeah, this is, like, really big. Stay here, right? So you shoot your teammates here as they're kind of, like, you know, holding this position. You can hold in back of red room, all right? And you can make sure your people stay alive and stay on these angles. Keep them, like, honest right here, right? And then when you have to retreat, you actually want to retreat onto this little platform or the awning, all right? You can stand here or on the awning, either one. And when you're ready to go back in, you just jump right back in, all right? And now, further, you can also jump, and I fucked it up, but you can also jump onto this awning, okay? And let me show you that one more time, because this is actually, like, pretty solid. First, also, this is a parkour you can do. Jump on the freezer, the vending machine, stairs, and the stairs, or the platform. Do that to get back up here quickly. So you're defending this, you're holding, right? And then if they start coming through here or more likely start taking the red room, then just jump back out to here and jump back off to this awning. You can be pretty hidden right here. And whenever you're ready, you can just jump back and jump back. And like once your team starts retaking the space, now you're back up here again. Okay. Now, if you're losing a lot of space and you have to full retreat here, a good place to retreat is actually inside this little nook. All right. Now this is a 2-door nook. It's here and here, and it's just like it's a little donut kind of thing, right? But the idea is that you've got cover right here, right? So you can keep, if your tank is alive, you can keep your tank alive right there, right? And also, as they come through here, the enemy team comes through, you have a backline nade through that door. And you keep them alive here. You keep your team alive. Oh, really, like, none of your team should be, like, defending from over here. If they're over there, they're no man's land. But sometimes you'll have defenders on the stairs right up here. You keep them alive. You kind of just keep this little position as a defender. And if you ever can manage to rotate, get some clearance, try to rotate up to here if you can. Now you're up here. You're kind of like doing this sort of thing, keeping your people alive from up here. And then if you find the space to do it, you can make this rotation back to here. And now you're like rotating back to your team. Okay. So that's what that kind of looks like. Sometimes you will find yourself for some reason on the ground. This isn't terrible. You can still shoot these and have these angles here. And then whenever you're able to actually make the rotation, you just go up these stairs here. Like this. You're back to this spot at least. And as soon as you really like win a fight, take this room back. That red room, just take it back because it's so strong. It is so strong. Like the enemy team will have a lot of issues if you just put a strong position in there. Yeah. So that's that. I'm going to switch real quick over to I'm going to switch to Ash real quick so I can demonstrate a couple things on Ash because I haven't played her yet in this one. And then I'll talk about I think one more thing I just want to like demonstrate here, and then I want to start looking at the street space. So let's go back to Ash. Do this fun thing. All right. So as Ash, like I said, you want to get on this little thing here. It's kind of nice. Oh, well, if you're not bad at it like I am. All right, so you stand here. You know, you're going to throw your dynamite as they try to, like, get through here, be annoying. And as soon as they start seeing you, go over the roof and land on this awning. Now you can do this. You can do this. And at any time you want, I mean, you can just go back over the top. You can play that rooftop like crazy. This whole area, again, this is the power position. Okay. Now, here's another thing. When you're on attack, okay, and you clear this point, all right, let's say you've gotten this point. You're looking at the next point. The next power position I want to look at, by the way, all right, is right here, all right, this one. All right, this is the next power position. Kind of like the red room. This room, or this little platform here is worth a lot of money, right? A lot of cash money here because you have like angle on the purple. Anyone who's on here, you got this. You can see flanks. You can see flanks. There's a little mega actually right there. You can see this angle. You can see people trying to flank through this little window here, which is common. People want to flank through this window because it gets to this position. In this position, even on attack, like you see a lot of stuff. The flex supports on defense are generally going to hold right here or right over here, but generally they want to hold this position here. And I'll show you why actually. Just real quick, flex supports here, pretty solid. You get to defend all these positions. You see this, and I'll talk about over here in a little bit right there. But it's a good angles. And what's really nice, all right, look at this lip right here and jump on it. All right. Okay, well, this actually moves my hero, but I wanted to show you kind of like what actually is the surface you're standing on. It's like this little lip thing here, and then you can walk back to here. All right. And that's why it's so powerful. You can be in a good, like, strong flex support position where you can see your team. You can throw, like, anti-nades. You can throw a lamp in there. You can do all kinds of shit from here. And then if you have to rotate, you just rotate over here. You're up here now. Okay? And now you can still shoot there. You can still throw anti-nades, like, down here. You can still do all kinds of things, right? This is still a great position to defend that point towards the end of the point. Okay. That's that. Okay, let's talk about this up here. All right, because a lot of teams want to go up here. This is a big thing for some teams. They want to not worry about having a whole team go this way, because if a whole team pushes down main like this, they're gonna die, because there's literally high grounds on both sides all the way through, and like you're literally drowning in high ground. So you do not want to go that way. If you're playing kind of brawly, like a Reinhardt kind of thing, or a Junker Queen Queen's going to go up here likely. It kind of gives you access to the power position, and it lets you sort of cut through point without so many angles against you. And like it's not like going down through the bottom where there's high grounds everywhere. Here you're pretty safe, not like insanely safe, but like to a point where if you start taking up here and you start walking up here and you're like in this position right here, well, the enemy team is actually going to start plugging this hole up right here with their tank. Their tank oftentimes, if they're playing like also like a brawly-ish kind of tank, like a Risa, or they're playing like Sigma, Rhine, Junker Queen, whatever, they're not going to want to let you walk through here for free. So they're going to stop you there. Anyone who's on the power position over here defending is going to see that rotation. Like, they can see you making that rotation, and they'll see this. They're going to throw their dynamite, their stickies. They're going to go through there. They're going to do some stuff there. Ash with Bob might make this play to you, and this you got to be careful about. If you're standing on this little green garden thing, you can coach gun up and throw Bob, not as poorly as I just did. But like you can actually just do this, Bob, and then fall back to here, throw a dynamite, because you know Bob will actually land against like this thing right here. Bob lands here, and if they're standing here, they're going to be forced inside, and so this gives you an opportunity. As soon as you land, you dynamite them and get the fuck away. Now you might say, well, why you can't just coach gun out of that, because you used coach gun to get up there. You did this thing, right? And of course I need to aim that better, but this actually is a makeable jump. I recommend looking at this right here, and anyone can make that jump. That's a free jump for anybody. So just keep that in mind. Okay, if you are defending as Ash, you already got someone on the power position, you want to defend pink, that's fine. Defending pink matters because there's usually going to be one person pushing cart, and you want to rain hell on them and make sure they don't get to just push that for free easily. Also, you can drop down to the mega and immediately come right back up. All right, that's a thing you can do. You're also defending the flank against your flex support. So if your flex support is playing right here, all right, in that position, well, a lot of people can just flank around here, and now they've got an angle on your flex support, even if they're in that like extra safe position back here. It's very accessible with that pink building here, just by floating over. So that kind of defends the flank against your flex support. And there was like one more thing I thought I wanted to say here. No, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, this is possible on any hero. Now I fucked it up right there, but this is a tough jump. There we go. And then this is also a hard jump. If you walk up to the wall and press jump, you will not make it. You need to hit the wall at the arc of your jump. All right, hold on. There you go. So that makeable on any hero, and this is also makeable on any hero. This is a lot easier than the other way. All right. Now, this flank is important. Okay. You can do that with Ash. You can also, it's very hard, but you can go the other way around. All right, and I fucked it up. But if you can just land across the other side of that midway point there, yeah, like this. And if you land on the satellite dish like that, you're gonna fuck it up. You're not gonna make it to purple. So you actually don't want to touch that satellite dish if you don't have to. But like maybe start towards the edge here, jump kind of down the stairs a little bit, and then do this. And you can make it to here. Okay, that's a way you can access, and then you make this jump. That's kind of a hard one. But this is a way that like Ash, for example, can make it up to here and start contesting the power position, contesting pink. Gets this angle here. You can actually start doing a lot of stuff from this position. And it's a way you can access that position kind of sneakily. I'll tell you that Widowmaker can also make this rotation. Few other heroes can make the rotation. Not every hero can do it. Lucio can just wall ride across the edge here. I do not believe that Moira can make that rotation. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I tried it for a little bit. But like from here, it's a little bit too much. I'm going to try with that railing alive. That's actually a thing. Okay. Get Moira real quick.
Humanity is shackled. I find the key.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm going here. Okay. I do this. Okay, so she can rotate to this like that, but she cannot get the purple. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that is not going to fly. I also don't think I can get up there. I might be able to. Oh, yeah. Not really. If you fade jump off the railing that isn't broken yet. Okay. I fucked that up a little bit. Let me try one more time. You can at least make the flank. I don't know what good that'll do you. So that's definitely a possible flank if you get that fade jump off of it. For whatever it's worth. Maybe you want to do that for some reason. But yeah, generally, you do want to make it up here. You do, as an attacker, want to maybe figure out how to get from here to the power position, which is, there's a couple ways. You can also jump across this way, and then into here, and then fade into it. Soldier can actually make that jump, no problem. With the Helix rocket jump. Also, Soldier can do a really interesting jump. I'm going to show it to you. It's so interesting that I just want to show it to you. I don't know if I recommend anyone do it, but I'll show you that he can actually do this thing. That's kind of funny.
Over here.
We made this mess. Time to clean it up.
Maybe if you have tack visor, this one will be kind of cool, but I'll just give you kind of some hints as to what Soldier can do here. All right. So if you get with the team up here and then you walk up to here, what first thing you can do is you can go up to here and then get into here, and now you've got power position. You have damage on the flex support spot here. Sometimes flex support sits over here if they're just coming back from spawn and haven't been able to make it across the bridge yet. They'll be tucked back in there. But yeah, it gives you kind of control, not necessarily control of the room, but it lets you contest this room a little bit. Now, here's the weird one. This one, I don't know. It's really hard. I probably won't be able to do it. But you can kind of go over this roof in a way. And it's probably going to take me a few tries here to do this. Not quite. Almost. Oh, that's really bad. Man, I'm not good at this. Almost. It's really funny. Trust me, it's worth it. Here we go. Pretty cool. So you get over the roof, and then you can, like, I don't know, pop tack visor and just, like, kill everyone trying to defend that choke from behind. Funny. I mean, you probably die, honestly. That's probably bad. And then, yeah, I mean, this, you just want to control this up here. This is the big position for here to defend the whole point. Yeah. All right. So I've talked about that. Now let me talk about, I don't know. These are fine flanks, by the way, down here if you want to, and this is fine. It's just you are walking straight into the low ground. I mean, you can make like a little angle here and then find your way back. You got a little mini in here. You can make little sneaks. You can kind of sneak around in here. So it's not like totally undoable, but you're not on high ground, and so it's okay. But that's all I'm pretty much going to say about that. Looking at starting to look at point number 3, I'll tell you that if you want a nasty flank, then all you got to do is parkour up to there. I don't know if you can do this. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. Parkour up to here, go down here. You go sort of into this basement thing,
Much better.
And now you've got like all the way back to the point here. Now some people haven't seen this yet, so I'm gonna make sure you get to see the whole point. So as these doors open for point C to open up, all right, you kind of get into this room. All right, this room, pretty interesting. Also kind of sucks. This little net you cannot shoot through. That is just, it's, you can look through it. That's it. That's all you got. Just looking. No shooting. Over this way, you have like a little flanky poo down here that goes down to the bottom, to like the sort of pit. And I'll show you, the cart just runs along this horrific line underneath the bridge. All right, it goes like this to this point. The problem is that there's literally just high grounds everywhere. There's high grounds freaking everywhere. Here's the flank I was showing you before in the basement. This is what we call basement. All right, there's a lot of openings into the basement. Generally though, people don't, you're not holding the basement. That doesn't make sense. All right, if you're holding this, it's very tough to hold the cart anywhere over here, and it's a lot easier to hold the cart once you get to bridge. You'll get like maybe one person to stall cart down there, but really the defending team wants to have this position held down strong. Okay, so like if you've got a Sigma or something, then you can put a shield right here and just make sure people aren't going to take this outer wall. All right, so this generally is the defender's position right here. As a defender, this is a common thing to be able to watch people at this angle. And I'll show you kind of what I just shot up there. Is this little doorway right here. Okay, as an attacker, attackers kind of start this point after like the part that doesn't matter. This like kind of doesn't matter. And I'll briefly, before I kind of say that doesn't matter, I will say that if you lose a fight, sometimes you get close held at like this little archway. And like this. So like you'll kind of want to go through there, but there's a lot of angles, a lot of exposure. Then you kind of want to go through here, but you're taking a bunch of cleave, and there's just like the whole team is just bearing damage into both of these. If you can get them to walk away from that, to give you some space from that, then the next thing you got to pay attention to is like as you're taking this rotation here, you're going to want to pressure people out there so that these people standing here kind of tuck back a little bit further. Then you're going to peek this, and this is where it gets nasty. All right, this is one of the tougher angles to peek because there are so many exposed angles to you, right? The first one you got to clear is this one right here. All right, then you have to clear this one right here. Then you want to clear, let's show you, see this little amplifier? An angle right next to it, all right? You want to clear that. Then you want to hug your back to this wall. Clear this angle. Slowly clear that angle and that angle. Keep going. And then you start clearing all of this. And then you're looking at this against this little wall here. And then you're looking at this amplifier. Someone's standing right there. Then the other side of the amplifier. Right there. Down there. Down there. And finally you can make it across. Like it's literally so, like there's like 10 different angles you're trying to protect yourself from. That people are going to be throwing like Hanzo arrows at you and like Sojourn right clicks and all kinds of bullshit's going to come flying at you, because this is the high ground. This is how the attackers take this here and then walk across the point. If you don't have a tank up here to like shield off all of these fucking angles that you have to play against, you're gonna have a rough time. You literally have to like slow peek all this one, that one, you know, just like you got to know all of those. If you stay deep back here, you don't have to worry too much about the ones down there. But yeah, enemy team is going to be strongly fortified up top, and they're going to want to not allow you to walk this way, because if you walk too many people this way, then they're just going to walk on top of this bridge and get behind you, and they'll get someone to like touch the first, like the front of point up there, and then they've got you flanked and surrounded. So you don't want to just rush down there. You're kind of like pawning one player to push the cart here, and everyone else needs to hold this high ground, get it to a point where you can walk across bridge and like push people across this, get this, push people back here. Don't let them just sit here for free. And yeah, you're fighting all these different angles, lots of different angles. From a defender's side, I don't have defender spawn exactly, but you can see how like defenders can roll out here, immediately get kind of pressure on that high ground. They can roll out here. They can find this angle right here that I was showing you before. You can just rotate back to here and find this angle. You can rotate back to here. More of that. More of the same. You can stand on top of these amplifiers. This amplifier, that amplifier. You can all stand on top of that. You cannot stand on top of that. Although you can go up there. It's a reachable altitude, but that is a curved surface. You will slide off of that. Bara can go a little bit into here, enough that she can kind of tuck herself in, but there's no ledge that she can stand on, so she will run out of fuel and have to fall beneath and reveal her hitbox at some point. But yeah, she can kind of go in there a little bit. About where I'm shooting right there, that's about the top of the map skybox. There's a little bit of flank in here. Like I said, you go down here, and I think I'll be real with you. I don't remember if that. Yeah, this is a spawn door, I believe. At some point, there's like an old spawn or something. You hear that spawn door sound? It's just not opened. But that's a spawn door that I believe you can come out of. Really risky though, pretty deep in. Kind of like wrap back up here and shoot him from behind. But yeah, generally this one's pretty miserable, just because like, well, it's felt miserable, especially in lower elos where people will commit too many to the floor. You really just want to put one guy on cart. Everyone else is fighting for these high grounds. Everyone else fights for angles and high grounds here, and this is just like long range poke, like Hanzo, Widow, Ashe, Soldier, Sojourn is kind of like the DPS you see here for the most part. Just because there's so many different like angles and high grounds everywhere to play with. Yeah. So, make sure you know this. If you go for this jump here and somehow fall off as a flex support, you immediately run in here and run back up the stairs to get back to the high ground. That's not always the route you want to, like, maybe you don't always want to be up here, but this is a very likely next step for you if you accidentally fall down as you're trying to make this sort of rotation here. Anything else I want to say? That's mainly it. The main things I want to mention, keep in mind here, is that the power position is pretty much right at this fork in the map geometry. You have like every single angle you could ever fucking imagine wanting, right? And you have high ground along the entire whole thing. Very strong position right there. And then the red room is a power position. And this is more important to hold than this little nook right there. That little nook, some people will live and die by this little nook, and they'll live and die by this choke. No, absolutely not. This is the choke. This is the hold. Okay. That's what's important. I think I have pretty much covered everything, and I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Hope you learned something, and have a good day.